Alright, so today I want to show you something a little bit different, something that I haven't actually seen before, and that is how to tame a snake using another snake. It's kind of an interesting effect. So essentially what you need is you need two snakes. You need one that is super tame, like the snake that I have around my neck right here. This is Bobby, my bamboo ball python, pretty much the tamest snake in my entire collection. And believe it or not, you can actually use a snake like this to tame down some of your more defensive or really skittish snakes that you have in your collection. And I kind of randomly stumbled on this. Essentially what I was doing is I was going through my whole collection. I was kind of spot cleaning all the tubs every single day. And I started over here on my breeder rack, and I got about halfway up, and there was Bobby sitting in his tub, and I thought Bobby needs a little bit more shoulder time. So I take Bobby out, put him around my shoulder, and continue spot cleaning the tubs. And to my surprise, a lot of my snakes that were really super defensive or really skittish actually completely changed when they saw the snake around my neck. And I think essentially what happens is a lot of times when you're opening up a tub, some of those really skittish or defensive snakes, they'll actually look at you directly in the eyes, kind of lock right onto you and kind of go into a defensive mode. Sometimes they get really scared and kind of scurry away, kind of get into like a flight mode sometimes. And when you have a snake around your neck, it doesn't really matter if it's a friendly snake. I guess you could use anything. It's a lot easier if you have one that's not trying to get away. They kind of have more of a curiosity about the snake around your shoulder instead of looking at you directly in the eye like you're some kind of a predator or something. It's kind of an interesting effect. And as a matter of fact, I pretty much got to the point where when I feed a lot of my ball pythons, what I'll actually do is I'll take some tongs, some really long tongs, and I'll grab a frozen thawed rodent, and I'll open up the tub just a little bit, and I'll take that frozen thawed rodent and I'll put it way back in the back of the tub as far as I can so that snake doesn't see me. So I actually don't see the snake when I'm feeding it the frozen thawed rodent. And a lot of times that works if you can avoid the direct eye-to-eye contact with the snake. It's a pretty amazing effect. And I would imagine you could probably do the same thing with a snake around your neck. You open up that tub, and instead of going into a defensive mode looking at you, it'll look at this snake and kind of go into more of a curiosity mode, I would say. As a matter of fact, I actually saw one guy who was raising reticulated pythons, and he had all these really big enclosures in his room. And I actually watched one of his feeding videos, and he was adamant that you should not look directly in the eyes of a snake when you're feeding that snake. I thought that was pretty interesting. And he would kind of look away and feed the snake off to the side, just kind of in his peripheral vision. I said, whatever you do not look at that snake, because it'll go into a defensive mode when you look directly into the eyes of the snake. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So today I was going to try to figure out how I can actually show you this without, as a matter of fact, I actually have one ball python. I actually opened up her tub just today and kind of touched her a little bit, and she was hissing at me. So I thought I'd actually take that snake out and kind of see if I can show you like here in front of the camera. It's kind of hard not being right directly in front of the tub. But I want to pull that snake out that's usually really skittish, and I want to show you how she acts around another snake around my neck. A lot of times, if you actually just hold a snake that's really skittish, it'll always try to get away and just kind of go into a flight mode. But if you have another snake around your neck, a lot of times just the presence of another snake will actually calm that snake down. One thing you have to really watch out about is that they don't bite each other. A lot of times when you first put two snakes together, sometimes it could get a little bit confusing. You don't want to put one head next to another head, because a lot of times, you know, you could have some issues there until they kind of work things out and they kind of change their mood. So what I want to do is I want to pull out my Lemon Blast scaleless head female that, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking about breeding her this year. She's kind of a skittish snake. I haven't really handled it that much. I want to pull her out, put her next to Bobby, and see how the interaction goes here in front of the camera. Alright, so this snake is actually back in here. Take a look at this. It is right here. I want to pull her out. She's getting really close. As a matter of fact, she's going into shed. Of course she's going into shed. But this one is kind of a little skittish. She usually goes into flight mode. Take a look at this girl. She is really big. I don't know how good it'll work being in shed where she really can't see very much. But let me take a look at this, see if I can get Bobby around over here. And a lot of times if you actually just get them kind of close to each other where they can see each other instead of looking at me. So if she was actually looking directly at me, she would be in a real kind of a defensive mode. And take a look at this. I already saw that she looked at Bobby. Even though she's kind of going into a shed, she can definitely see there's another snake over there. And she's kind of going into more of a curiosity mode. You can see her tongue kind of sticking out. Look at that. Look at that. That's really unusual for this snake, that she's kind of in a curiosity mode. Let me see if I can get Bobby over here, because take a look at this. Look at that. Tame a snake with a snake. Look, it really works. It's pretty amazing. She's looking at this other snake thinking, hey, there's another snake. There's not a predator looking at me, which is, it's kind of an interesting effect when you actually do that. And look, she actually goes right into a relaxed mode. Look at that. Now you can put them together. No problem at all. It's a pretty amazing effect with these two snakes. It's pretty amazing. Look at that. It's amazing. This is like a completely different snake now. I've actually never done this before with this particular snake, putting it next to Bobby. But look at that. I just can't even believe it's not even like the same snake, which is pretty wild. Of course, you don't want them to breed around your neck. I got a male and a female, and we're coming up to breeding season. We do not want to breed these two. I actually have a lesser scaleless head that I want to breed to this one. But I mean, just kind of holding them like this, it's pretty amazing. So if you have a really defensive ball python, I would say this is a really good way to see if you can kind of snap them out of it. Just hold one snake, and then look at Bobby's kind of taking off. I don't know what Bobby's doing. Bobby's like, I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of freaking out here. I tamed my mean snake, but now the friendly snake is like going into like a flight mode. Like, what is going on? Take a look at this. All right, so I'm kind of struggling with these snakes. It's kind of funny. This snake right here that was kind of defensive, she's always defensive. She's never really relaxed like this and really just kind of chilled and hanging out. And Bobby is just, I don't know what Bobby's doing. Bobby's like, I want nothing to do with that snake. I am getting out of here. I don't know what Bobby's doing, just kind of like going into a flight mode or something. I've never seen Bobby kind of act like that, but that is amazing. Take a look at that. How tame that snake is. That is pretty amazing. This is the tamest this snake has ever been, as far as I've ever seen. That is really amazing. Tame a snake with another snake. It actually works really well. So I just kind of thought I'd throw this out there because I've never seen anybody do this before. And let me tell you, it is a game changer when you're trying to tame down your snakes, using one snake to tame another one. A lot of people say, you know, it just takes time to hold a snake. And in this case, no time at all. Just having two snakes side by side. Tame one snake with another snake. Pretty awesome technique. Whoa, she's still really head shy though, which is pretty wild. So take a look at that. That is really amazing. Tame a snake with a snake. I just can't even believe the transformation just in just few minutes. I've never actually put them side by side like this, where I had them kind of intertwine and mingle with each other, which is pretty wild. This is the tamest I've ever seen this lemon blast, which is pretty wild. Wow. That really works better than I thought with this girl. Just kind of hanging out here with Bobby. Normally I just have Bobby around my neck and I kind of go through the tubs, and just having him around my neck can really snap him out. But just kind of this actually holding him like this seems like it works better than just having him around my neck. Even with this one in shed, which is pretty amazing. I'm really excited to breed this one. Take a look at that girl. I think she's about 1,500 grams. Hoping to get a few more rodents into her. She's like 3 years old now, so if I can get her a few more rodents, I think she'll be big enough to breed this year. So I'm breeding my lesser scaleless head with this lemon blast, so we should get some totally scaleless ball pythons with this. So wow, look at that. That is a completely tame snake. Let me tell you, this snake has never been this tame. I've never actually put her next to Bobby like this. That is really amazing. All right, guys, hope you learned something. That was pretty amazing. I can't believe it. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.